Oh, hi, I'm Ezra Levant. It's April 26th, and you're watching Battleground. Well, hello, how you doing? Ezra Levant here. I am the Rebel Commander. It's a bit of a self-aggrandizing title, I grant you that. It's been a busy time for the Rebel. We were really up to our eyeballs in an election in the Canadian province of Alberta, and I think we did a hell of a job, frankly, not only reporting it, but helping to affect the outcome. I think we can take credit for defeating an actual communist candidate in the riding of Calgary Varsity. But there's always an election on somewhere, isn't there? Last week there was an election in Prince Edward Island, which went conservative, shocking a lot of people, including myself. And now there's an election afoot in the United Kingdom that wasn't even supposed to happen. Give me a minute and I'll tell you the news. As you know, about 1,040 days ago, the United Kingdom voted in a referendum to get out of the European Union. For those of you in North America who don't really follow European Union stuff, it's basically like a United Nations just for Europe, except for instead of just passing, symbolic statements and burning up a lot of money, it actually has the power to pass laws that bind all the European Union countries. So they have this mighty parliament in Brussels, Belgium. 750 members of the European Parliament. That's unwieldy. How can you even have debates but it has delegations from each of the countries, and 73 out of those 750 are Brits. So you can see a problem right away. In advance, you know that Europe can do whatever it wants and foist those laws on Britain, no matter what Britain wants. This was 2016. Angela Merkel had just opened up the floodgates to mass unvetted Muslim migration. Things were going straight to hell. And you know what? The deplorables, as Hillary Clinton would call them, stood up in the UK and said, yeah, we're out. 17.4 million people, the largest vote in the history of the United Kingdom, voted to leave. This despite being massively overspent by the fancy people, by the media, the experts, the professors. Can we get the sandwich clip again? Every single who's who said this will be a disaster. You had bank presidents saying, London's reputation as an international city will be a disaster. We will all move our £1 million a year bankers from London, one of the most interesting, beautiful cities in the world. We're going to move to Frankfurt, Germany. Listen, I've been to Frankfurt, Germany. Nice people, I'm sure. But I don't think someone who's living a £1 million a year lifestyle as a master of the universe banker in London is going to move to Frankfurt. And and none of it happened. I want to show you my favorite example of the insanity. People would say, oh my God, there's not going to be any medicine. Oh my God, you won't be allowed to fly an airplane to Europe anymore. Oh my, like all this crazy. And you know what? People just said, stop lying to me. And they voted to leave. I want to show you a clip from the British Sandwich Association. There's such a thing. I asked if I could be a member or even a lifetime member, and they didn't get back to me. But I used to love the British Sandwich Association until I saw their president join Project Fear. That's what the Remainers called their campaign. Let's just scare the dumb people into staying. It didn't work. But I want to show you what I think is the stupidest campaign argument I've ever heard. This is the head of the British Sandwich Association saying to his fellow Brits, hey guys, if you vote to leave this little political structure in the European Union, you won't have sandwiches anymore. Bread, like, it's named after the Earl of Sandwich, for God's sakes. But that will no longer happen if you leave the EU. I want you to see the clip because I know you think I'm making it up.
But certainly there would be serious problems in terms of some of the fresh ingredients we bring in from the European Union and also from overseas, particularly if we have problems at the ports and we can't get ingredients through because they're all fresh and don't have a very long shelf life, and we've got no chance of stockpiling fresh ingredients. So I think the answer from the sandwich industry is going to be that it's going to limit the amount of choice that consumers have if we suddenly crash out Brexit in the way that's being talked about.
So hey guys, you better vote to continue to have political decisions about the United Kingdom made in Brussels. You better vote to have open borders, or you're not going to get your sandwiches, guys. I think that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Listening to that guy has made me dumber as a human. So yeah, people voted to leave, but it's been more than 1,000 days and they didn't leave. And they were supposed to leave on March 29th, and as you can see, it is now April 26th, and they didn't leave. And so here's the crazy thing. On May 23rd, they're having the next elections for that big European Parliament in Brussels, for the 73 Brits who will go to Brussels to be part of the broken European Union. But you can imagine how gross that is, because Britain voted to get out. And they've been forced to stay in because of the betrayal of Brexit by Theresa May and, well, everybody in the entire establishment. That would be like if Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama simply refused to leave the White House after Donald Trump won in 2016. Just simply delayed and obfuscated and haggled and said, well, you can't, and then technically, can you imagine the rage? I mean, there was an anger in the land that put Trump in the White House in the first place. But imagine after he won it fair and square, if the media and lawyers and courts and Obama and Clinton cooked up some reason for not leaving. That's what Brexit is now. Brexit in 2016 was the same sort of anger that we've seen in other jurisdictions. Brexit in 2019 is, you've actually forced us to stay. We missed the deadline to leave, and you're actually forcing us to elect more MPs to go back to this broken system that we all told you we despise. All right, well, we're going to send in candidates that show us how little we think of you. We don't have the bull in the china shop. Yeah, I just typed in bull in a china shop in YouTube. I just wanted to see if there was some fun vids. And I got this. Go ahead, play it as B-roll. I'll just talk over it. That is a bull, not really in a china shop. You just keep playing that. That's a bull in a shop in China. Apparently that bull was supposed to be slaughtered and turned into meat, but he didn't want to go along the plan. So that's a bull in a shop in China. It's a little bit different than a bull in a China shop. But that bull, the way that bull is showing a lack of respect, shall we say, for that shop in China, is I think what Brits want to do to the European Union. If they have been so betrayed that they can't leave, then yeah, I think they want to send in someone like that. And I can think of 3 people who fit the bill for that bull. One of them is Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage was the leader of UKIP, and he was really the champion for the Brexit side of the referendum. But after Brexit won, he sort of took a victory lap and said, all right, I'm going to go make some money now, do the TV circuit, do the speaking tour circuit, because he thought it was done, but little did he know it would be stolen. So he's back now with a new party called the Brexit Party. He used to lead the UKIP party. Now he's leading the Brexit Party. Do we have a clip of Nigel? I like Nigel. How are you not going to like this guy? Take a look.
People concerned that UKIP is being dragged in a direction that even you might feel uncomfortable.
I mean, even me. You know, when I was leader of UKIP.
No, that's the wrong clip. That's Nigel criticizing Tommy, and I'll get to that later. I want to show Nigel just giving a speech somewhere. He's got this new party. It's called the Brexit Party, which is pretty clear about what it's about. And he's been giving speeches around the UK, old school style. And it feels great watching it. We'll get you a prop. That was Nigel explaining why he doesn't like Tommy Robinson. So that's my objection to Nigel, is that although he's a troublemaker, Nigel Farage, he still has a lot of ties to the establishment. I mean, he's a millionaire, former stockbroker. He's not a working class chav growing up in the hard streets of Luton, you know. I love Nigel, and I hope that between Nigel Farage and his Brexit Party, and Gerard Batten, the leader of the UKIP party that the Farage used to run, I hope between the two of them, they get 72 out of the 73 seats in the European parliamentary election. Here, we got that Brexit Party clip. Take a look.
So there is demand for a new party, is there? I think what we've seen over the course of the last few weeks is the betrayal, willful betrayal, of the greatest democratic exercise in the history of this nation. And when I began to realise back in November, December, that extension was almost certain to come, that there would be more European elections, I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up a party. I'm going to call it the Brexit Party. It's about democracy. Our democratic decision is being willfully overturned, and this is coming in the country that has what was once called the mother of parliaments. And I can tell you that all over the world, our friends, and I do know one or two quite highly placed politicians in some other English-speaking countries of the world, and all over the world, people look on with incredulity because they still think that we're a great country. And the funny thing is that we the people still think that we're a great country, but our leaders are happy to continue down the path of managed decline.
Yeah, that's you know what? I tell you, he's spot on. And can you find that old Merkel clip of her being handed the flag, showing disgust and looking the way? There's something weird about leaders of the Western countries, other than Trump. I mean, people say, Trump, stop waving the flag, make America great again, stop saying that. You know, in fact, Obama, for a while, did not even wear an American flag lapel pin. He thought it was too jingoistic or nationalistic or racist or something. There's some strange mental disease that every leader of a post-national Western state gets, where they start to hate their own country. And the people who live in those countries say, well, hang on, I don't hate being here. I don't hate being in America. I don't hate being in Canada. I don't hate the United Kingdom. Their leaders do. And my friend Justin's looking for this stunning clip, and I used to show it a lot more when I talked more about Angela Merkel. She's at a campaign event. She's handed the flag of Germany. And I don't mean here. Let's just show it. Look at this. Take a look at this. She was handed a German flag. Yeah, look at that. So, yeah, play that again if you can. So this is a political. Oh, that face at the end there. Look at that. She's handed a flag. She gives it away as fast as possible. Look at her face. 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 Keep rolling. Look at her face. Oh, yeah. Did you see that? That's not the Nazi flag. That's not the disgraced flag that was defeated in 1945. That's the new modern liberal Germany. She was handed, this is a political event. This isn't like at her dinner at home when she said, can I have a break? She's at a campaign rally. She's handed the flag of Germany. She can't drop it fast enough, and that look on her face at the end, holy moly. What's happened all over the West? Theresa May's the exact same. Give me Theresa May dancing in Africa. That's all I need to show people to turn them against her. So Nigel Farage hits it on the head. Why does everybody in the UK, in the elite political class, hate the UK? If you love Brussels so much, why don't you move there? Ordinary Brits love the UK, but you put up a Union flag, you put up the British flag, and the police come knocking you, you put up this flag at St. George, that's the English flag. Oh boy, get ready for a human rights complaint. It's incredible. Are we looking for any more viz? Or not really? I can't remember. Oh yeah, we got Theresa May dancing. I want to show you that just because I want you to hate Theresa May just a little bit more. So can you take a look at her dancing? What's that? What's that? What is that? What's going on? What is that? What is that? I can't look away. I can't look away. I can't rip my eyes off of that. Whoa. If you think I'm sexy and you want my body, come on, baby, let me know. Oh, imagine her, dancing queen, just tearing it up, sexy. What's wrong with being sexy? That's the worst thing I've ever seen with my eyes. I think I'm going to go to the emergency eye wash station and just rinse it. You can't unsee that. You can't. I should have had an R rating that you can't unsee that once you see that. Am I right? Oh my God, that was bad. She's done that a lot. But just, that's worse than Elaine on Seinfeld. And at least that's a comedy show. Okay, where was I? Back to the UK. So that election is happening in a month's time, May 23rd. Can you show me a map of Northwest England? Do we have that there? So the United Kingdom, I want to tell you a little bit of how, and I'm talking about Tommy today, but I just want to set the table. So there's the European Union, and that red, you see that, hold that there. Okay, so you see that's broken up into different regions. So that's the UK on the right, and that's Ireland on the left. You got Ireland, and you got Northern Ireland. So that red part, they call that Northwest England, obviously. And that's where Manchester is, and other cities and towns around it. So the UK has 73 MEPs, members of the European Parliament, and those regions, that region there is called Northwest England. That region gets to send 8 MEPs to Brussels. And here's how they're chosen. Could we go to the Wikipedia page? I want to show you, zoom in if you can a little bit to the 2019 results. Sorry, we don't have those results. Zoom into the 2014 results, yeah. Can you zoom in a bit to the top ones there? 2014. Yeah, okay, perfect. So, I don't know if you, so I'm just going off Wikipedia here. But you can see there's a lot of candidates, and the Labour Party got 1, 2, 3 elected. The UKIP got 1, 2, 3 elected, and the Conservatives got 2 elected in this jurisdiction. Now, how do you do it? Because it's a vote ranking system. So the guy who gets the number one highest number of votes gets in. And then they take that party, divide it in half, and then say, okay, who has the second largest number? I know it sounds weird. This is their voting system. It's called the D'Hondt system. So then they go to the next guy. If it's a different party, his party number gets cut in half, and then they do the check again. Who's next? If it's the same party, then it's divided by 3. I'm not going to try to explain the math to you, but the reason I'm telling you it's a quirky system is because you see, UKIP, you see under votes, you see that category says votes? I wonder if you could zoom in on the votes a tiny bit, shift it over, yeah, perfect. So do you see it says votes 594,000 and in brackets 198, and then under, let me come to my point. You see in the UKIP it says 160,644 there. That is the number of votes it took to get the last ranked person, the 8th guy, elected in England, Northwest England. Okay, so if you were confused by my voting system, I'll stop talking about it. I'm just trying to make the point that in Northwest England, where you have 8 MEPs to be chosen, this D'Hondt voting method, which is a little bit tricky to explain, I'm sorry if I didn't do a good job of it, it means you can win a seat with just 160,644 votes. That's what the lowest guy, that's what guy number 8 got. And as you can see, guy number 9 is the Green Party candidate who, as you can see there, just got 123,000. So scroll down to the total vote. Going from memory is 1.75 million. Yeah, so do you see turnout at the bottom there? So 1.75 million people voted. And then go back up to the lowest guy, highlight the 160,000 part. So in 1.75 million votes, you can win a seat, or at least last time, with just 8 or 9% of the vote. Because 1.75 million people voted, 160,000 was all it took for the lowest ranked guy. Can you scroll down to the 2009 results? I'll be really quick here. I just want to show that holds true. Okay, so 2009, scroll to the total vote count, going from memory is 1.6 million. Yeah, okay, so 1.65 million people voted there, and then it took 141,000 for the lowest ranked guy to get on board. That would be Jacqueline Foster. So again, about 8%, about 8 or 9%. Thanks, you can take that down now. I hope I didn't confuse you, overwhelming you with those stats, but I was trying to explain a very important concept, if I may. Is it possible for our friend Tommy Robinson to win an election standing as an independent candidate? And if you were to ask me, Ezra, should Tommy Robinson run for mayor of such and such town? I'd say no. because unless it was a very certain town, I don't think he's going to necessarily be the number one guy in a first past the post system. That's what we call the voting systems for US Congress or Canadian MPs or British MPs. You have 10 people running, whoever crosses the finish line first wins, whether he has 80% of the vote or you just have to have one more vote than the next guy. But in a multi-candidate district, like the region of Northwest England, where you have 8 people who win, and you start with, like, the winner, the number 1 guy is going to be just so high. The number 2 guy is going to be so high. Number 3 slot, number 4 slot, number 5 slot. You just have to be that number 8 slot. Tommy doesn't have to be the first past the post, to use electoral language. He doesn't have to be the second past the post. This is running a race, and you could have maybe 100 people running the race. There won't be 100, but there'll probably be a couple dozen. Can Tommy finish 8th? That's all he needs to do. And I just showed you the stats from 2014 and 2009. And in both cases, the number 8 slot, hey, number 8's good as number 1. Both of them sit as MEPs. Can Tommy Robinson get 10% of the vote? Or actually 9% will probably do it. What do you think? What do you think? I think he can. 10%? I've known Tommy for a few years now. He used to do videos with us and he went independent. Then he got thrown in prison. We got him out. We crowdfunded. I've been chums with him. I go over there, cover stuff sometimes. Do we have any B-roll of his event in Manchester when he rolled out Panodrama? So I visited Tommy a couple times recently, and one of them was in Manchester, which is in the heart of Northwest England. And there we were on a weekend. I think it was a Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember. I think it was Sunday. Don't remember. And standing in outside the BBC offices, I think police said there was 4,000 or 7,000 people. It was huge. And people were standing watching Tommy's 1 hour long video on a giant screen. They were standing there for hours. Look at that crowd behind me. So that's me. I was in Manchester back there. That's not even panning the whole, like, it was like a rock concert. See, that was the giant screen they had, and that's the BBC headquarters right there. Look at that. Look at that, 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 look at all, that's not even panning. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's Gerard Batten, the leader of the UKIP party. There's me. I don't even know what I was saying, but I sure was saying it. There's Panodrama. That's the movie. There's Tommy. So that was it. Oh, and there's me again. Sorry. Okay. What is my point? Why did I show you that? Besides a little trip down memory lane, because Tommy got 4, 5, 6, 7,000 people out in Manchester. That should. Can you name someone who could get 4, 5, 6,000 people out in Manchester, stand around for 4 hours to watch a video? Do you think Theresa May could get that many people? Do you think Jeremy Corbyn could? Maybe he could. Maybe Boris Johnson. Maybe Nigel. I think Nigel's Brexit party is going to come in number 1. I hope UKIP comes in number 2 in various, like in terms of the 73 seats. I hope there's one spot for Tommy. I see a couple of super chats. I'm going to read them quickly. Proud Boys Calgary says Tommy, Sargon, and Dankula for MEPs. Yes, the UKIP is running some internet personalities. Count Dankula, also known as Mark Meekham. We know Count Dankula. He's been on our show a couple times. Can we just throw an image of Count Dankula up if you can find one? He's got a great sense of humor. He's got that gorgeous Scottish accent. He was thrust into notoriety when he made a joke teaching his girlfriend's dog to Heil Hitler as a joke. He was trying to make his girlfriend's dog the most hateful. There he is. So he's quite a character, as you can see. He was trying to make the dog as uncute as possible, and he thought, what's the least attractive thing in the world? A Nazi. So it was obviously a joke. A dog can't even be a Nazi because a dog doesn't have understanding about politics and wouldn't join a political party. So anyone who thought that the dog was really a Nazi is crazy. But he was prosecuted and convicted for this. So Count Dankula And another guy named Carl Benjamin, who is better known online as Sargon of Akkad. And I got to tell you, I've never been able to wrap my head around saying that name. I guess everybody on the internet has a nickname, right? But at least Count Dankula is sort of funny. I just never understood Sargon of Akkad because that was a historical person. So I never understood naming yourself after some historical person when you're not that person. But he is an internet celebrity. There he is. And he is running for UKIP. And good luck to them both. I hope they both win. But let us talk about our old friend Tommy, because of course Nigel Farage is not a Tommy fan. And although Gerard Batten of UKIP is a Tommy fan, and in fact spoke, as you saw, at Tommy's events, the UKIP party has not allowed Tommy to join. So Tommy's running as an independent. Just let me quickly read. MVP chips in $5. Thoughts on Sargon running as an MVP? I honestly have not followed him because I know it sounds like a trivial matter. I just can't get over the name Sargon of Akkad. I know that's not a good reason, but I haven't really gotten into his stuff. But I hope he wins. I hope Count Dankula and Sargon of Akkad win for UKIP. I hope Gerard Batten wins. I hope they do great. I hope Brexit Party does great. But let's talk about Tommy. Can we show Tommy's website? So Tommy yesterday in Manchester announced his campaign. And he set up a website, votetommy.co.uk. That's what they call, that's how they do it in the UK. They have .coms, but the real nationalist, votetommy.co.uk. The connection is not private. Isn't that funny? Okay. Well, you know what? I'm embarrassed to say the site's not working right now, but I'm sure that'll be up and running shortly. I wanted to show it to you because I wanted to show you his campaign is alive and kicking. Now, can we find Tommy's video, his campaign video? Let's take a look at that.
Like many of you, I wasn't born into a powerful or wealthy family. My mother was an Irish immigrant and my father a plumber. They taught me that hard work and sacrifice leads to success. They taught me to stand up for myself, for others, and for my beliefs, helping me become the man I am today. My name is Tommy Robinson. I am a father, a son, and a husband. I love the family that raised me to be the man I am today. I love the country that gave me the freedom to do just that. Like many other people from my background, I've never voted. I never believed it would make a change. None of the politicians in our country could relate to me or even seem to care. I know what it feels like to be left behind. We are ruled by people who know that we exist, but they still don't care. They don't breathe the same air or drink the same water as us. They don't like the same things or live the same lives. It doesn't have to be this way. Fairness is possible. Going into politics was never part of my plan. People like me aren't supposed to run for office or get into positions of power or importance. But that is something that I want to change. In 2009, our soldiers' homecoming parade was attacked by extremists. That's when I made the decision to do something. I felt a burning desire for justice in a world around me that seemed more and more unjust. And now people all over the country and across the world stand behind me. They do it not because of me, but because they have seen the same things I have. They have seen the same injustice and suffering. This following and support has not gone unnoticed. And that is why they want me gone. They tried throwing me in prison. A sentence was overturned because our legal system found it unjust and unlawful. They don't want ordinary people to unite to get rid of them. And that is why I'm standing as an MEP in the northwest of England. If they can do it to me, they can do it to anyone. So we have to say no more. They live on the gravy train, drunk on their own arrogance with no change in sight. I want to be that change. 100% of my EU salary will go to the child victims of sexual grooming. I will fight censorship and the bullying elites who don't care for the working class concerns. Our children and their future are worth more than the sneering platitudes of self-righteous, arrogant political elites. They deserve more, and I will make sure we get it. Brexit showed them we have a will of our own, a will of the people. But they ignored it anyway. The EU, Theresa May, our own MEPs. If we let them walk all over us now, they will do it forever. It is time to rise up and throw them out. A vote for Tommy Robinson on May 23rd is a vote for all of us. Vote Tommy because change is coming. I need you all to go to www.votetommy.co.uk.
Well, I think that his site might have been overwhelmed or, God forbid, hacked. I don't know. We'll find out because I can't get on his site right now. But I have been on it earlier, and I liked the look of it. And, obviously we're sympathetic and we're right there with Tommy. We also want Nigel Farage and Gerard Batten to win. Now, I know that might sound dreamy and unrealistic to say, can't we all get along? And I understand that the three parties are different. The UKIP is different from Brexit, and both are different from Tommy. But Tommy's slogan, and you saw it at the end there, I think, was, send them a message they'll never forget. And that goes back to that clip I showed you, the bull in the shop in China. That's not what a China shop means, by the way. A China shop is like ceramics and like teacups and things like that. But a shop, it is still a great video, that wasn't it? And here's my point. See, in 2014, before the Brexit referendum, and 2009, long before the Brexit referendum, having a member of the European Parliament was a good way to advocate for more power for British rights within the EU, to push back against the EU, to shout British interests in the EU. I'm getting people saying that the site's working in the UK. Okay, good. Thanks. I'm seeing a number of people saying that. Good. Maybe there was just some problem here in Canada. I'm glad to hear it. I was panicky for a second. Okay. But can you follow with me on this point? And you guys in the UK, you tell me if I'm getting this wrong. So in 2009, you're voting for someone to be a strong advocate for the UK. 2014, people getting fed up. You're voting for a strong advocate for the UK. Remember, you just got 73 MEPs in a massive 750-person European Parliament. So you're going to lose every vote before it even happens. But still, you're going to fight. But then in 2016, they had Brexit. Here we are 1,040 days or whatever later. And they're stuck in there. So who do you send now? Do you send, I'm with the Conservative Party, I'm with the Labour Party? No, because those are the betrayers. And you don't send someone who's going to say, I look forward to working in the European Parliament for the best interests of the EU and the Britain within the EU. No, you don't. You're not going there to debate even. You're going there to blowtorch the place rhetorically, politically, to jam it up in protest. I don't recommend handcuffing yourself, student protest at Berkeley style, but just about that. Because it was a Brexit betrayal. They shouldn't even be in there. If you're forcing Brits to be part of it, if you're forcing this stupid election, which shouldn't even be happening, then who do you want to send? You're not sending someone to advocate for the British interest. Yeah, that too, but you're sending someone to torch the damn place, rhetorically speaking. Who's going to do that better than Tommy Robinson? Nigel Farage was great in there, and I think I think Count Dankula, and I don't know Carl Benjamin, but I'm sure he'd be good. But you send in Tommy Robinson, that's a release the Kraken type moment, am I right? That's a release the Kraken moment. Because obviously Tommy's going to use the forum to give speeches. He's going to use the resources of the office, staff, and press releases and travel budget. We have Janice Atkinson, who's currently an MEP, who has done videos for us about all the perks that they have. Do you think we have time to play that Janice perk video? If you can find it. But Tommy's not in for it for the perks. In fact, he said he would give up his salary and donate it to victims of these rape gangs. But just being there, or let me phrase it another way. Let me take another run at you on this way. Let's say you're Angela Merkel, that woman who was so disgusted by her own country's flag. If Angela Merkel is disgusted by Germany's flag, how do you think she feels about the British flag? And Emmanuel Macron, and the rest of them. So who do you think they very, 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 very much don't want to be a member of the European Parliament next month? Well, obviously they don't want Nigel Farage. He's quite effective. But in terms of nightmare scenario, that bull in a china shop, send in Tommy Robinson. And send them a message they will never forget. So yeah, it's about what Tommy will say, but it's just also about him being there. So there's 73 MEPs going to be elected on May 23rd. I say let Gerard Batten and Nigel Farage divvy up the 72 of them and save one for Tommy. And like I say, if you were with me a few minutes ago when I took you through the voting results in 2014, 2009, I think Tommy can win with 10% of the vote. I think voter turnout will probably be high. So let's say there was 1.6 million voters 10 years ago, and there was 1.75 million voters 5 years ago. I think there's going to be 2 million voters now, maybe more. Can Tommy get 200,000 people in Northwest England? We'll see. We'll see. One of the things about the internet is how spread out people are. I bet the demographics of the 819 people watching right now, I bet a third are in America, a third are in Canada, and a third in the UK. And I'm sorry I've left out, obviously, we have people in Australia and Mexico and continental Europe too. But my point is, I can't vote. I can't donate. If you're in America, you can't vote. So part of Tommy's strength is he has friends and allies around the world. Politically, the problem with that is he needs to concentrate his support in Northwest England. Does Tommy have 200,000 supporters? Of course he does. Does Tommy have 200,000 supporters in Manchester and surrounding regions? I think he does, but he's got to get them out to vote. But here's an idea I have. What do you think of this? And by the way, feel free to send me super chats. I think we've only had 2. Super chat for those of you who, maybe I missed one. Super chat. Do you want to email me the one that I missed? What a super chat is, it just puts your comment in a bright color and I can see that and I'll immediately spot it and answer it. I think I did miss a super chat. Let me see if I can find that. There we go. Proud Boys. Calgary, Sargon 2, the MSM, you dirty, dirty smear merchants. Yeah, they've been taking a run at him. The problem with Carl Benjamin, a.k.a. Sargon of Akkad, and Count Dankula, a.k.a. Mark Meekin, is those guys have done dozens or hundreds of videos over the years. And from an opposition research point of view, that's a gold mine because they were thinking of themselves as what they were, which is pundits. Jokey, edgy pundits. So of course they've said outlandish things, outrageous things, offensive things. So an opposition research war room just sits down, watches 100 hours of video and clips the worst parts. So it's very dangerous being a pundit going into politics because you have to answer for all the goofy things you've said over the years. Goofy or things that taken out of context look bad or actual bad things. I don't know. The MSM is looking to... But the thing about Tommy is it's all out there. Everyone knows the worst of Tommy. I mean, Tommy has no secrets. Everybody knows what Tommy's troubles were, and then they have come to their own judgment about them. Were they real troubles, or was it that he was an enemy of the state? Does Tommy have a noble cause? Does he talk about things no one else will talk about? So you can't really do that kind of a gotcha on Tommy anymore because it's all out there. I hope Tommy wins. I think it would be great for Tommy. I think it would be great for his ideas. And I think we need to put a bull inside the China shop in the EU. But here's my point. I'm sorry for the ramble, but here, I'm coming back to it. On May 23rd, can Tommy Robinson get 200,000 votes in Manchester and region? Well, I know he can get, let's call it 5,000 people out on a weekend to watch a movie. Okay, for every one of those, are there 40 or 39 other people? That's a big question. Well, I don't think there are 200,000 people in Manchester and region who would say, I am a Tommy Robinson fan. I think that number in Manchester and region might be 50,000, might be 100,000. I've been in Manchester maybe 4 times, so I don't present myself as an expert on it. But I've been there with Tommy all 4 of those times. And so I see Tommy's world. He's got some support there, that's for sure. But, like I say, to send in Tommy, you're not just sending in an advocate and a messenger. You're sending a message by who you choose itself, right? And so here, stay with me, here's my point. You need 200,000 votes to get Tommy in as an MEP on May 23rd. I think you have 50 or 100,000 hardcore Tommy supporters who love the guy. But can you get 50, 100, 150,000 people who say, you know what? I don't like everything Tommy says or does. He's a little bit much for me. Or I'm not quite sure what I think of everything he says or does, but I know this. You send him into the EU and he's gonna give me the Rome punch, Fid. He's gonna smack him around a bit. He's gonna send him a message they never forget. And that's what I want to do now. 5 years ago, I might have said, can we send, remember when, and this is after Tommy left the Rebel, Tommy was on his own, Tommy went to Rome, and he was accosted by a migrant who said, I will kill you. Tommy said, oi mate, nah, you better be faster than that, bruv. Remember that? Take a look. Yeah. So you see that and you think, I don't know what was going on there exactly. It looked like the migrant said, I will kill you, and Tommy thumped him first. And do you want to send that guy into the EU? And I think an awful lot of people would say, damn rights. I don't even really care exactly what Tommy's going to say or everything's going to take. I just want to send that guy into the EU, and I don't want him to actually punch anyone in the EU. But I want him to metaphorically punch everything he sees. I want him to metaphorically burn the place down. I think that you can get 50,000 hardcore Tommy supporters in the Northwest England, for sure. And then maybe 3 times that number who say, you know, we need to do the worst thing imaginable to them in their mind. Who does Angela Merkel, who does Emmanuel Macron, Juncker, and all the, I don't even know all the names of the unelected bureaucrats running the EU. I think you send in Tommy. Send him a message and never forget. Okay, now there's some super chats I missed. Let me catch up there. Fried Cake 7. Hi Ezra, do you know if Tommy as an MEP would get police protection? That would be so ironic, wouldn't it? I think the answer is yes, because Janice Atkinson, who's an MEP right now, does videos for us, told us about security. Now, they don't have security following her around, but I think that Tommy might. I think he might. Gender Neutral says, Salvini has a cross-party Eurosceptic bloc. Yes, there is a group of allies that Tommy would have in the EU. Matteo Salvini in Italy, we love him from what we see about him. We're learning about him through our friend Alessandro Bocchi in Milan. Marine Le Pen, France. Geert Wilders in Holland. Sebastian Kurz in Austria. Alternative for Deutschland in Germany. Vox in Spain. There is a network of allies Tommy would have. Fried Cake 7, Ezra, do you know, police protection? Trojan Maru, seen his channel being censored by YouTube. Yes, Tommy's channel is censored by YouTube. You have to know it exactly to get to it. You can't find it by searching for it. It's outrageous. Gender Neutral, just heard today Soros meeting secretly with the EU. Well, that doesn't surprise me. Tame thing, conservative provinces equal conservative nation, 2019. It looks like it's on that path. All right, I mentioned Janice Atkinson, and I spoke with Janice just a couple days ago, and she is currently an MEP who was elected in 2014. I think her region is Southeast England. I'm going from memory. She was elected as a UKIP MEP, but she's not running again, I don't think. She's not. She told me she's not. But I said to her, because I thought that the UK would get out of Brexit. I never thought that they would stonewall it, but they did. I said, in your final weeks there, can you do a video on all the perks and pork? Because this is one of the things that ordinary Brits hated, is the high living lifestyle of these elites, this jet set class of fancy pants. And I said, Janice, you got to document that before you're out of there. So can we show a clip? You can choose whatever portion's most interesting. Here's Janice Atkinson, who is currently a member of the European Parliament for the next month at least. And I asked her to do a video on the gravy train, and here's what she did.
Here, it costs £130 million for a jolly in Strasbourg. Some 2,500 plastic trunks are loaded into 5 lorries and driven almost 300 miles to Strasbourg. Here's mine: stockings, heated hair rollers, hairspray and a spare pair of knickers. The EU charters 2 express trains costing £200,000 per year. It's 2.5 million for relocating freelance translators, catering at 1 million, medical support at 330,000. And looking after the empty French real estate here, that's 50 million euros per year. Then there is the overseas funding scam, including foreign aid, called Global Europe. I call this the office of the EU's bottomless pit. In 2018, 13% of the EU budget was spent on overseas vanity projects totaling 10 billion euros. This is, of course, in addition to the UK's foreign aid scam currently running at £14 billion per year. Oh, and let's not forget the EU administration costs of offices in Brussels, Strasbourg, Luxembourg and elsewhere. The cost of funding all those salaries, pensions, limos, wine cellars and the rest is a cool 9 billion euros. And don't forget the PR budget. Coca-Cola's budget is 4 billion. Ours is 97 billion euros. And the total budget? The total EU budget for the term 2014 to 2020 is 960 billion euros. But guess how much they want from you to fund the next 6 years?
It goes on. I recommend you finding that. There's some great scenes where Janice shows you all the chauffeured limos. It's so frustrating. So, I mean, the numbers there were staggering. And like I say, it doesn't respect the sovereignty of the UK. So 1,000 days ago, 17.4 million Brits said, we're out of here. Theresa May said, yeah, no, joke's on you. Let me go do some dance moves. And so what are you going to do? You're stuck, you're trapped. Okay, well, let's send in some football lads. You know, wouldn't that be something? I'm just daydreaming now. I've met some interesting characters in the UK at football games. Send 73 of those. That's the message that has to be sent to the EU. All right, it's 838 people watching. Thank you and welcome. It's 12:48 p.m. here in Toronto, which means it's almost 6 p.m. in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. Earlier, I said that Tommy's website wasn't working, but I see in the comments that just seems to be a quirk here in Canada. So I'm glad. Now I want to address one more thing, because someone said, did you see that Tommy's YouTube account was shadow banned, actually tremendously banned by YouTube. If you don't know the exact way to type it in, you will not get there. You can't find it in any search. You can't find any of his videos in search. All his videos are marked inappropriate content. You can't comment, you can't like, you can't share. It's almost total censorship. But his campaign, and same on Twitter, kicked off PayPal, kicked off Facebook, kicked off everywhere. But his campaign, which is a legally distinct entity, there's a lot of rules when you run for public office. You have to have all your finances disclosed. His campaign has set up a new Twitter account. Can you put that up for a sec? So his new Twitter account, not by him, it's T. Robinson MEP. That stands for Member of European Parliament. And I'll just read the bio there. It says, Tommy Robinson, European Parliament Election Campaign Account. Account is not operated by Tommy Robinson. And it's only been up for a couple of days. It already has 5,700 followers. And I think it'll be an interesting test to see if Twitter bans this account, because I'm quite sure. There's only. Can you scroll down a bit? Can we see the 4 tweets? So let's go to the very bottom. Have you checked out votetommy.co.uk? That was the first tweet. Then the next one was, have you seen this great new video? Tommy Robinson is standing for MEP in Northwest England. Then scroll up a bit more. The announcement of Tommy standing as an MEP in the Northwest has caused quite a stir. He managed to trend twice on Twitter at the same time. Join the movement, votetommy.co.uk, and scroll up to the last one. On 23rd May, vote Tommy and send them a message they'll never forget, but you have to be registered to vote. It just takes a few minutes and you can do it at, and there's a link there, and that's a government link. So those are the 4 tweets. Absolutely boring from a scandal point of view. Nothing that comes close to violating any Twitter terms of service. Operated by the campaign, not by Tommy himself. Will Twitter delete that? Now that would be a hell of a something, wouldn't it? Because Tommy is registered with the UK government and has been accepted as a candidate. Someone asked me, Canadian Conservative says Tommy should be able to get his Twitter back because, like Trump, he would be a public figure. That's a good point. Although some have said Trump should lose his Twitter. It's a legitimate campaign in the election, registered and accepted by the government of the United Kingdom, complying, I presume, with all election laws. Campaign owned and operated by Twitter, owned and operated by the campaign, not by the individual named Tommy Robinson. And I just read to you all 4 tweets to date, completely anodyne. Wouldn't it be something if that were deleted? Because Tommy is an unperson in the eyes of who? A multinational corporation headquartered in San Francisco, the United States. So you have a United Kingdom election, an election in the UK for the European Union. So you have a UK election for an EU Parliament, and you want to talk about foreign meddling, you want to talk about foreign interference, a non-transparent corporation headquartered in San Francisco, major shareholder is the Saudi Prince Walid bin Talal, you know who I mean. Wouldn't that be something if they censored his campaign Twitter account? I wonder if they will. And if it happens, I wonder if anyone will care. Other than the deplorables. I mean, will any of the fancy people care? Gender Neutral says, what's happening with Tommy's media bus? I don't know. Story voice video bear, Tommy seeks out reasons and those who threaten. Okay. Oh, by the way, I mean, Tommy's latest book was deplatformed by Amazon. It's a best-selling book, #1 best-selling book in the UK. Amazon just deleted it. I wonder if they deleted it off the Kindle devices of people. I've heard of Amazon doing that before. It's 12:53. I want to tell you one thing that we're doing. Because, I mean, I like Tommy. I've had my ups and downs with him over the years, as anyone who follows me closely knows. He used to work with us, but he's sort of unmanageable, as you know. He went off on his own, but look at that, he got himself in trouble, so we became friends again. We helped him out, got him out of the... Tommy account already suspended on Twitter, says someone on Super... Oh my God. In the past few seconds, Tommy's account was suspended. Come on, are you serious? That just happened? Unbelievable. I just heard in my ear that Tommy's account was just taken down. I looked at it 5 minutes ago. It was just taken down. I just told you that might happen. Unbelievable. Why? Wasn't run by Tommy. I just showed you the 4 tweets of it. Nothing whatsoever controversial at all. Is Tommy not allowed to run for public office in the UK? No, he is allowed. We know that. Was there anything in those 4 tweets I read you that were in any way odious? No, there was not. In fact, one of them was a public service, registered vote here. And that was suspended. That was suspended. I'm sorry, what is that other than election interference? Can you tell me? By a foreign entity. Headquartered in San Francisco, major shareholder in Saudi Arabia. Really? I wonder what will happen. I predict all the people who should be on guard for this sort of interference will say, good. What do you think? Not surprised, but disappointed, that's for sure. All right, we've got a few minutes left. We might go a couple minutes long, but I want to tell you what we're doing, because people say, Ezra, yeah, I see incredible. El Chupacabra, I saw I see your tweet there. Sorry, your super chat. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Or completely believable. Live on TV. I show you Tommy's tweet, his campaign tweet, deleted. I guess the word Tommy Robinson itself is now a 4-letter word. Although those seem to be, most 4-letter words are allowed on Twitter, aren't they? Unbelievable. So what are we going to do? Well, look, I'm not a British citizen, as you know. So I cannot vote. I don't live in Manchester or the northwest of England. I do not, the rules for donations, you have to be a Brit, or a British company or union. I am none of those things, so I cannot donate. If you're a Brit, you can donate whether or not you live in Northwest England. You can only vote if you live in Northwest England for a Northwest England MEP. But I have come up with an idea for a way that I can help, because I want to help my friend Tommy. By the way, I want Nigel Farage to do incredibly well, and I want Gerard Batten to do incredibly well. And I'd love it if his YouTube personalities won. I don't know Carl Benjamin, but I like Count Dankula, Mark Meekin. I want him to win. And sure, I want Sargon of Akkad to win too. I just hope he uses his real name. Here's what I can do. I can report on it. Because let me give you a little theory here. You and I just saw in real time Twitter deleting an account that I just proved to you seconds earlier was completely fine. Look at that! And I showed you there's nothing wrong with it. And it was deleted. Okay, here's a test. What media will cover this? I think most of them will, because it's a humiliation for Tommy. And what media will say this is wrong? None of them. None of them. None of them. Because they all hate Tommy. And I say that having observed it with my own eyes, having attended London for half a dozen Tommy's trials and his last trial in Peterborough. And so here's what I know I can do. I can't vote, I can't donate, I can't be an election interferer like Twitter and the Saudi prince. But maybe I can fill the reporting gap. Me personally, but also my friends. Now, if you recall, can you put up realreporters.co.uk? Realreporters.uk. See, this is something I invented last year. I kept going to these trials for Tommy, and I saw a lot of mainstream journalists there. From The Independent, Lizzie Dearden, from the BBC, Dominique Casciani, from ITV, from Sky. They were all there. There's like, so hold this up here. Tommy Robinson needs real reporters to cover his MEP campaign. I'll just read a bit. Tommy Robinson just announced that he's running in next month's election to be a member of the European Parliament. That election was never supposed to happen. I think that more than a blah, blah, blah. Can you scroll down a bit? So what can you do? Well, we have an idea of what we're going to do, what we've done before, do fair and accurate journalism about Tommy's campaign and the other candidates too. Because the one thing I know for sure is that no party in the UK hates Tommy more than the media party. They're going to lie about him every single day. So I have a plan to fix that. In the weeks ahead, we will be sending rebel journalists from Canada to properly cover the event. And we'll be doing what we did before when Tommy was on trial. We'll be recruiting other independent journalists from around the world to cover Tommy fairly. Our old friends, Avi Yamini and Cassandra Fairbanks, and new friends too. In fact, I've spoken to 12 journalists, plus myself, who have agreed to come for as briefly as 2 days and as long as 2 weeks. I'll give you more details about our plans soon. Obviously, if I'm flying in 12 journalists from Canada, the US, and Australia, that's a lot of dough. I think it's about $30,000. Everyone's going economy class, but it's still, flights from Australia, flights from Washington, flights from Toronto, one flight from Chicago. So I think I can actually get 13 journalists there, 12 plus myself. And that's not they're not campaigning. They're not going to be campaigners. They're going to be reporters independent journalists. I will have no oversight on their journalism, but I trust them enough that they'll be fair and accurate. Because I know that if someone just fairly reports what Tommy's saying and doing, that's better than anything he's going to get from the Brits. The British media, I mean. So what I say to my friends who, like me, are not British citizens, and therefore it is not lawful for us to donate, and obviously we wouldn't vote. So what can you do for Tommy? Well, help bring some real journalists there, real reporters. I've done this, I think, 3 times now for Tommy's various events and trials, and I think people really like it. I know Tommy said that other than crowdfunding his legal defense, it was the best thing, most helpful thing we did for him. I'll tell you the names. Will Chamberlain from Human Events in Washington, D.C., Cassandra Fairbanks from the Gateway Pundit, Pardes Saleh, formerly of Mediaite, Avi Yamini, the 3 lads from Politicalites, Jessica Svietonovsky, a new Rebel reporter. She's great. You know what? There's 2 that are a secret. Can I keep 2 as secret? Because it's great. I want to keep 2 more as secret. You know what? I'm sorry. I just have temporarily forgot. Oh, Andrew Lawton. I'm so sorry. I forgot Andrew. I apologize. Andrew Lawton's great. He was the guy who came and overheard the other journalists conspiring. Remember him? He spoke at Tommy's demo at the Old Bailey. I'm so sorry. I forgot Andrew. He's great. He's a friend of mine from London, Ontario. Okay. You know, I gotta wrap up here because it's. My buddies from Politicalite. Remember those guys? Jordan James, he's the boss of Politicalite. It's really the only website in the UK that's friendly to Tommy. Daryl and Ian Adamczyk, who are his journalists. There's 3 guys in the UK. Now they're going to be coming down for Tommy's trial on the 14th, and they'll be doing other reporting. They were at Tommy's launch yesterday. Sorry, I don't have I don't have the names in front of me. I apologize. There's 13 people. 2 of them I'm going to keep secret till they arrive. I see another super chat. It's for $50, so I'm going to stop and I'm going to read it. It's from Gabe Duguay. Thanks for the 50 smackers, Gabe. Ezra, thanks for what you do. Wondering if you could investigate the CPU, Canadian People's Union, and their Citizens Convention of Consent form that if 51% of us sign will veto the government power and give it back to us. Could it be true? It doesn't sound that way. It doesn't sound that way. I've never heard of the CPU. The Citizens Convention of Consent, it sounds like a made-up idea. That is maybe idealistic, but it's not, I don't think it's real. Sorry. Gender Neutral says Sargon MMP account also suspended. Absolutely unsurprising, absolutely appalling. Well, my friends, I think I just made the case for realreporters.uk, don't you think? Censored by the media party, censored by the establishment media, censored by the mainstream media, censored by social media. As long as the Rebel is alive, though, we'll do our best to cover it. So if you want to chip in, I got to raise about 30 grand to get these 12 or 13 folks to the UK. They're all traveling economy class airfare or 2 or 3 star hotels. No one's getting paid a fee. It's just out-of-pocket expenses, taxi, parking, basic meals, no alcohol. We're not paying for any booze. 2 or 3 star hotels, economy class airfare. People coming from Melbourne, Chicago, DC, London, Ontario, Toronto. I don't want to tell you the other places because it'll give away. New York. We've got a lot of great folks coming. All right, folks, without further ado, I want to say thank you to joining us today. If you're in the UK and you want to learn more about Tommy's campaign, go to votetommy.co.uk. If you're in Canada or around the world, keep it locked on The Rebel because apparently that's the only place you're going to get news. But we love doing it. I mean, when Tommy left us a year or so ago, I thought that was the last we'd sort of have to do with him. But then the fella got in a spot of bother, as they say over there. And wouldn't you know it, he's actually been someone that we have been deeply involved with journalistically. And of course, we crowdfunded his lawyers. Hopefully there won't be any more legal challenges for the young man. But wouldn't it be something if he was in the European Parliament? I wonder if someone there told Twitter to nuke him. I wonder if someone in the European Parliament, not even in the UK, not even the Saudi prince who's the second largest shareholder of Twitter, I wonder if someone in the EU said, silence Tommy, we don't want that bull in a china shop, which just proves the point. If you vote Tommy, you send a message they'll never forget. Let me close with this, 73 MEPs. My view is Nigel Farage and Gerard Batten, you guys take 72. Give the lad from Luton 1 seat in the MEP, and he'll do to the EU from the inside what ought to have been done from the outside. All right, folks, we're out of time. It's 1:05 Eastern here. I got to go do other stuff. Thanks for your support. If you want to check out Tommy, go to votetommy.co.uk. At least for now, that site's not down. I thought it was earlier. If you want to support us, go to realreporters.uk. Until next time, goodbye, and keep fighting for freedom.